Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be discussing the best and worst things about living here in Columbia, Maryland. So hopefully if you are considering coming here to the area, hopefully this will help out a little bit and that you'll learn something new today. And let's jump right into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Living in Maryland channel where we talk about all things living here in the great state of Maryland. So if that's the kind of information you're looking for, make sure to hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be made aware of the new videos that we do each and every week about all things living here in Maryland. And if you are thinking about or considering moving here to the Maryland area, we absolutely love helping out in any way that we can. I am a local realtor here in the area, and however you feel comfortable reaching out, whether that's by phone, text, or email, if I can do anything to assist, please feel free to reach out anytime. And let's jump right into the video. All right, so the best and worst things about living here in the Columbia, Maryland area. And a lot of this is gonna be just based on my experience after living here in the area for 7 years now, which is just crazy how fast that goes, as well as getting to know people and locals here in the Columbia area. So number one is gonna be things to do. If you are looking, if you like having things to do, things accessible, Columbia is definitely gonna offer that, and it's gonna be something that a huge pro here of the area. So if you like having shopping, retail, restaurants, and all this stuff nearby, Columbia is definitely going to be a spot that you want to check out. So in my mind, I always think of Columbia as essentially like the hub of Howard County. So Howard County is one of the smaller counties here in the Maryland area. You've got roughly 330,000 people. And when you compare that to neighboring counties, it's significantly less. So it is kind of a smaller feel. People tend to know each other, just more so than surrounding counties that I've noticed. So you are going to notice a lot of people coming from outside of Columbia, for things like the mall, for all the shopping that you've got. You got a lot on Snowden River. You've just got a ton of that stuff all throughout Columbia. So the mall is a great spot. We find ourselves there all the time. And just so you know, I live just north in Ellicott City. So I'm probably 10 to 15 minutes away. And the thing is that my wife and I, when we go on our date nights every other week, or anytime we're doing something social, we find ourselves in Columbia. Columbia just tends to have it all. Most importantly, when it comes to shopping, you've got a Costco, you've got a Trader Joe's, you got a Whole Foods right within Columbia. So most everything that you need regarding shopping wise, you're gonna find right in the heart of Columbia. And then even when it's just random things that we like to do, just if we want to get out of the house and do something social, again, we always find ourselves in Columbia. They tend to have the most things to do. So even things, just random things like going and getting a massage or a couple's massage, we find ourselves in Columbia. They've got a cool, it's called Stumpy's, place where you can do axe throwing. They've got kind of a mini brewery in there. So that's, always a fun time. And then one of my favorite areas that I always like to tell people about is Merriweather Post Pavilion. So this is an area where you can see big name people, artists come through, and it's just awesome to have right in the heart of Howard County, super close. I always grew up driving so far, an hour plus to go see, big names. So just in 2022, just a few names on the roster so you know kind of what I'm talking about. You've got Foo Fighters coming through, Jack Johnson, Dierks Bentley, Kenny Chesney, Rod Stewart, just to name a few. So this is a place that gets big names where you don't have to commute. If you're looking to live here in Columbia, if you're looking to be in Howard County, there's a lot to do, and having this venue here is huge. So it's always an area we try to get to at least one concert a year. If you're not big on music or hitting that stuff up, right there in that area, because it's kind of surrounded by woods, they've got beer festivals. They've got what's called Wine in the Woods throughout the year. So there's always something going on here most weekends. So it's also a fun place to check out. All right, and then number two, when it comes to the best that Columbia, Maryland has to offer, is the restaurants and the dining out. So this is something that I love about Maryland in general, but Columbia definitely has this as well, is just the diversity and the variety of food when it comes to eating out. And then figured I'd share a couple of my favorite restaurants with you guys that my wife and I love. Number one is going to be Casbah's. This is off Snowden River Parkway in Columbia. This is amazing Turkish food, really, really, really good. They've got belly dancing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. I'm almost positive we've been there a few times, and it's definitely on our kind of recurring list. It's just very, very good. So that's something that I would highly recommend. And then Royal Taj is great Indian food here in the area. So I would highly recommend that. If those are types of food that you like, I would definitely check that out. There's also several different Thai food places that we absolutely love. That's kind of one of our go-tos. Thai food is definitely at the top of our list. So if you're looking for good food, if that's something that you want nearby, Columbia definitely has that to offer. All right, continuing on the list of the best things that Columbia has to offer is going to be Columbia, Maryland amenities. So this is something that people absolutely love about Columbia. If you have a family, if you've got kids, the amenities is something that is definitely high on most people's list. So you want to have something and a lot of things to do close by, right? Where you can meet other families, you can meet other kids and friends. So this is something that Columbia does really, really well. It does come at a cost. So you do have to sign up, you have to get a membership, but just a few things that the amenities include is going to be, they've got golf courses, they've got play centers, they've got several different pools, they've got youth and teen centers. So if you have kids that want to meet other friends and just be interactive, the Columbia amenities definitely have a lot of that stuff to offer. They've got multiple fitness centers throughout Columbia, so it's not just one, because Columbia is pretty big. It's about 30 square miles. So they've got several of these things spread out throughout Columbia and conveniently located to almost all areas. So this is something that I would highly recommend that you check out too. They've got a website. If you just Google Columbia Association, you can see all the things that they've got listed. They've also got an ice rink. They've got like a horse, center where you can go and ride horses and I think get lessons and things of that nature. So definitely a lot of things to check out that are fun for the whole family. So that's something that I would highly recommend that you look into as well. All right, and then another thing that people love about Columbia is just the various types of housing that's available. It's not super cookie cutter like a lot of different areas. Columbia's got the downtown part near the mall, which they're actually currently building up with really nice kind of higher end, apartment, type living. So if you're looking for that, that's much more of an urban feel. So if you're looking for that kind of feel within Columbia, within kind of the suburbs, Columbia's got that, and it's coming. It's already here, but they're continuing to do it. And it's really, really nice down there. There's new restaurants coming. There's new things coming. So if you're looking for that kind of feel, you've got that. If you're looking for, more affordable, because Columbia gets very expensive. So Howard County as well in general. So if you're looking for more affordable housing, you've got townhomes, you've got condos that are going to be under $400,000 or $500,000. So there's options there. And then if you're looking for the single family type of living, Columbia's got a ton of that as well. So no matter what you're looking for, Columbia's got it when it comes to housing. It is one of the most diverse types of areas when it comes to housing, kind of in the whole central Maryland area, I would say. So it's just got a ton of different options, and that's something that is really cool because it allows a lot of different people to be here in the area and to be nearby if they want to be. And then last but not least, on the best that Columbia, Maryland has to offer is its ideal location, its central location. So this is huge for many, many people. I am constantly talking to people who are working in Baltimore who live in Columbia, who work in DC that live in Columbia, who are just doing work throughout central Maryland. So it really is ideal location if you're commuting to any area, within the central Maryland area. So within Columbia, you're about 20 to 25 minutes from Inner Harbor in Baltimore. You're about 40 to 50 minutes, depending on traffic, to DC. So it's really ideal location is something that people love. So this is something that you definitely want to check out if you are commuting to either metro area. And then, with all the government contracting and everything that's right in the heart of central Maryland, it makes it, super, super close there as well. So within Columbia, you're kind of right on top of a lot of major highways too. You got 29, 32, 95, 100. So it just makes it very, very accessible if you need to get around, if you're commuting anywhere. Columbia is just a great location for that. All right, now I'm not going to beat up on Columbia too bad, but here's a list of a few items that might be the worst of what Columbia has to offer, depending on who you talk to. First off, I'm going to start with Columbia Association, the CPRA tax. Now, I had mentioned the Columbia amenities, and they're kind of tied in a sense, but the Columbia Association is essentially a city tax within Columbia. There's a few exempt neighborhoods within Columbia that do not pay this, but I would say about 80 to 85% of Columbia has a citywide applicable Columbia tax. And this is something that you just want to be prepared for if you're considering coming to the area, specifically if you're considering buying a home in the area, because that's who's paying it, right? So that's going to range from $500 a year if you own like a condo, in the area, all the way up to about $1,200 to $1,500 a year if you're owning a single family here in the Columbia area. So it is, we call it a tax because it is generated and it's based off of the assessed value, similar to a property tax. So you've got your traditional property taxes, just like anybody, right? And then you've got the additional city tax, and that could range from $500 a year once to about $1,500 a year. And that's paid once a year, I believe in July. And it really doesn't get you a ton. It gives you a discount to the Columbia amenities and what Columbia has to offer that I was mentioning a few minutes before. So that's something you want to be, prepared for. If you're not wanting, the extra expense, then that's something that you just want to have a heads up on. So that's how they act, one, as a city tax. There's a second way that they act is as a citywide HOA as well. So they have covenants, they've got bylaws, they've got some rules, and that's something that some people don't like, some people are cool with, just depends on who you talk to, right? So, and they act as an HOA in the sense that if you're doing anything exterior, they want you to go through them for approval, just like kind of any HOA. So now when you go to sell a home, they're never going to stop a sale, so they never do that. But the protocol that they want you to follow is to get an exterior inspection, and then they're going to tell you anything that may or may not be in compliance. So this is something, it rarely kills a deal because a lot of it's just kind of minor stuff. But this is something that Columbia does that you're not going to see in neighboring cities, towns, or anything like that. So that's something that you want to be aware of. Now, you do get a discount if you sign up for, the Columbia packages, like if you want to, utilize the pools or the fitness centers, depending on which amenities you want to use. There's a few different packages and costs associated with that. So you do get a discount at that. So it's not something that's complimentary because you pay the Columbia tax. So that's something to just be aware of as well, that it does give you a little bit of a discount on those things. All right, next on the list is that Columbia, Maryland is very expensive. So this is something that, some people tend to stay away from just because the prices are getting high. They've been high. So this is something that you just want to be prepared for. If you are wanting a single family home, a lot of single family homes, are 500,000 plus, and that's just kind of depending on. There are going to be some options in the 400, range if it's like a smaller split level, a smaller rancher or something like that. But if you're looking for your 3-4 plus bedroom colonials, they're 500,000-600,000 and up. So it's definitely pricey. Then when you roll in the Columbia tax, it just adds a little bit to that expense of just your overall living expense here in the area. So definitely pricey, definitely something you want to take into consideration and see if that's something that's going to work for you and your family. And then I haven't taken the time to research this, but just little things like gas. I mean, most gas stations in Columbia, for whatever reason, just tend to be a little more expensive, 15-20 cents more a gallon than if you're in Elkridge or Ellicott City or something like that. So just kind of little things that I've noticed over the years where you just want to kind of have a heads up on that, where it does just tend to be a little pricier in general when you're in Columbia. And then last but not least is going to be, if you are a fast driver, you want to be careful in Columbia. There's definitely more red lights here in Columbia than really anywhere else that I've seen in Central Maryland. So if you're on Snowden River, if you are on Broken Land Parkway, which is kind of two of Columbia's more busier streets cutting through a lot of Columbia. You want to be careful. If you see a yellow light, I'd recommend stop and pumping the brakes before trying to rush through that, because they do have red light cameras. You will get fined, and that's something that you just want to have a heads up on and be prepared for. It's definitely present here in the area, and it's something that you're definitely going to see. All right, everyone, hope you learned something new today. If you need anything at all, please feel free to reach out, comment below, and we will see you at the next video.